and welcome to KnightHunter Books. Today we have slightly belatedly brought our Christmas book haul. So these are books which we either got for ourselves in December or got as Christmas presents. We do have a separate haul which we will have going up in a few weeks, which will be our January haul, which is remarkably bigger. We were quite restrained in December because you don't want to buy too many books for yourself when you know you're getting some at Christmas, but then we didn't actually get that many at Christmas. So January sales is when we did our book shopping, so watch out for that.
My first is a tie-in novel to Mass Effect Andromeda and its initiation by N.K. Jemisin and Marc. This is a tie-in to a video game universe that I really like by an author that I really like.
It is the same N.K. Jemisin as the Broken Earth trilogy, so...
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this.
One of the things I got for Christmas was Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, which wasn't actually on my wish list, but is a book that I've heard quite a lot of good things about, so I am still looking forward to reading this. I don't know much about it, and I think it might be one of those books best to go into not knowing very much, but I think it follows a main character, Eleanor Oliphant, who is fine. She's surviving, she's living, sort of, and then something changes, and I think she learns how to live, or actually...
It's one of those heartwarming books, isn't it?
And I think we know that relatives have cried.
Yeah.
So, yes. I think this is maybe one of those books that just quite widespread affection, because you've got your mum, your sister-in-law, and people on BookTube have all said it's good, so hopefully I like it.
My next is Nice Dragons Finish Last by Rachel Aaron, who is the author of the Eli Mom Press books, which I really enjoyed last year. The sort of magical heist books. These look fun in that they're a combination of sci-fi and urban fantasy. It's urban fantasy set about 20-30 years in the future in Detroit. A young shape-changing dragon is kicked out of his home and forced to go out and do something ruthless, otherwise he'll get kicked out of the family. Sounds ridiculously silly, but I'm really looking forward to it.
And it's actually self-pubbed as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I wasn't until it arrived that I realised. So that should be an interesting new experience.
Now next I have a couple of non-fiction books, so I definitely need to up the amount of non-fiction I'm reading in 2018. This is Jonathan Safran Foer's Eating Animals, which is a book that I've kind of wanted to read for a while just because I read a couple of Jonathan Safran Foer's books a couple of years ago. Extremely loud and incredibly close, and everything is illuminated, and really loved his writing style. And I hope that translates to non-fiction as well. However, I was slightly worried that this would put me off Eating Animals forever. However, I feel like that's kind of the direction I'm maybe going in anyway, so I want to read the book. Let's just read the book.
My next one is an upgrade. Equal Rites by Terry Pratchett. My in-laws very kindly are helping me replace all of my crappy old mass market corgi paperbacks with the gorgeous cloth-bound editions. So slowly I'll be replacing all of those, which is quite nice because they're all very pretty. This is the third Discworld book. If you haven't read Discworld before, what's stopping you? I'm not sure this is where I'd start unless The Witches particularly appealed to you, because it's the start of that. It's also quite old. I mean, this was written in the late 80s, I think. He got better as he got older.
My next one is Laura Bates' Everyday Sexism, which you got to me. Which is, again, a non-fiction, which centres around a project which was meant to be sharing between lots of women the small everyday ways that sexism kind of shows itself. However, I think the submissions she got are not limited to just small everyday things. It's one I've been wanting to read for a while. I'm expecting it to be a difficult read though.
My next one is one that I bought myself for a Kickstarter. This is the second collection of Strong Female Protagonist, a webcomic I've been following for years now. I've spoken about the series before on a video which I'll link below. It follows a young female hero who has decided that punching poor people is in fact a bad way to fight crime, and instead she's unmasked herself and gone to university to study social sciences.
The next one I'm holding up because we had an unequal distribution of books, but this is the present I bought for John. This is Canto Bight, which is one of the Star Wars novels and includes 4 novellas centred around the location of Canto Bight, which you'll have seen in the latest movie. One reason we were particularly interested to get this book rather than the many, many other books that are out there is that a couple of the authors are ones that you or we are fans of. So one of them is Saladin Ahmed, written a fantasy series that you really like, and also Myra Grant, which is a pen name for Shauna Maguire. And if you've seen any of our videos pretty much over the past year, you'll know that John reads a lot of Shauna Maguire. So this is probably one that we'll both read.
My last one is a graphic. It's Injection Volume 3 by Warren Ellis. This series follows a group of individuals who decided to create an AI that is expressly attempting to make the world faster and weirder because otherwise bad things were going to happen. Turns out it's more complicated than they originally thought.
And our final book that we got in December is Through the Woods by Emily Carroll, which is a beautifully illustrated collection of original fairy tales. To be honest, I've wanted this for a while just because of how gorgeous the art is, such as this page. Can't wait to dive into this one, although I feel like it might make an excellent Halloween read. Let us know if you got a good Christmas haul, if you got lots of bookish presents, or if maybe you didn't get quite as much as you were hoping.
You could probably do with tips on how to get friends and family to actually buy you the 20-long book list that you've provided them.
I did curate a very nice Pinterest board full of books that I wanted, and I got one book off it.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.